Okay, so ridge. This is a big one, especially when doing route planning in the future. So, a ridge is going to be comprised of two or more hilltops. So, as we already spoke about with the hilltop, you're going to look for that circle, and you're going to look for a couple different circles in a row. Like if you were actually looking at this from the bottom, you would essentially, depending on how thick the terrain is, you would see multiple peaks essentially, but hopefully the peaks aren't like crazy high. And the ridge here, as you can see in the illustration where it's highlighted there, you can see on that specific on those contour lines right there that they're not super tight. So that looks like a ridge line that you would actually probably be able to go up and over if you so choose to, or you stay on the backside or the bottom side of it to figure out which side is less steep, so you could actually essentially mountain goat it across the side without having to go down and up and down and up, because we'll get to the saddle so you can understand that a little bit more. But that's what a ridge looks like. I would challenge you guys to look at that on your map. They stick out pretty good.
Yeah, another thing that I use ridges for a ton is for finding glass or like stringing different glassing points together. So it's like, okay, well, here's a good spot to glass from potentially. And I'm kind of thinking like mule deer hunting right now of an area to sit and glass for a little bit and then move to a new area. So if I have a ridge system where I can connect those two or look at a ridge system and figure out multiple different points, then that allows me to like exert energy up to the ridge. And then once I'm on top, it's just smooth walking from there most of the time. So we'll dive into a little bit more of that here in a second.
Yeah, one more thing too about that, Dylan, just to key in on the ridge thing too. Like you just said, it's usually pretty easy to traverse once you get up there. It's the same thing for the animals. I mean, as you guys know, like the animals are going to usually try to take the path of least resistance or natural lines of drift. And so those ridge lines really help, especially for you whitetail hunters. I mean, me being a whitetail hunter as well, like you go back to the Midwest and you key in on just the smallest little ridge, those whitetails are going to really hug those things during the rut. So pay attention to those for sure.